Hey everybody, Jeff Marr with STEM School Highlands Ranch, and joining me is Max Strizhenko. Max, welcome to our Alumni Spotlight.
Hey, how's it going?
So Max is a graduate of STEM class of 2016, and afterwards he joined the military, pursuing some time with the U.S. Army, and is now in the process of getting his degree in computer science. So Max, let's talk about your time at STEM, going back to 2016, because what we like to do as part of our alumni spotlight is check in with our alumni and see what they're up to, what they're pursuing with their careers, with advanced education, and what STEM did for them. So when you graduated in 2016 from STEM, just kind of give us a summary of your experience. I know you were part of a lot of clubs there, and you had some internships as well.
Yeah, so STEM was an overall great experience. Going into the real world, you realize that STEM is a better school, and you end up seeing it when you meet your peers or other people. Especially when I went into the military, I was in the JAG Corps, so I did legal work within the military, and I realized that I was a lot ahead of the crowd. I even people that graduated from college and so on, STEM kind of put me ahead in regards to understanding technology and just working with people and so on. Doing clubs was extremely helpful in that way. But STEM really is a great school to get you started and where you want to go in life. And it really put me ahead of the pack, honestly.
And Max, what grade level did you start with STEM?
I started eighth grade. I was there since the beginning when STEM just opened.
Okay. Did you have an interest in computer science when you were going to STEM? Because I know that's exactly what you're pursuing now.
I did not. No, I did not. I wanted to be in like a political or legal field of some sort. But after doing that type of work for quite some time, I decided to change it up.
Now, you said that STEM made you better prepared for the real world. What are some specific experiences that you can recall looking back that may have provided some value to that?
I would say that STEM kind of matures its students. It doesn't really handhold, as what I remember. It made you a good individual, and like you kind of took care of your stuff. And that's extremely helpful now. Even in college, I see my professors kind of hand holding all the students, and it's not the same education experience that I remember from STEM. STEM was very, very independent, it felt like, and it was all really up to me. And so that was the main thing, was just being independent. The clubs were extremely helpful. The friends I made, that was number one too. So all of that combination just put me ahead of everybody.
And thank you for your service with the U.S. Army. After you graduated STEM, what was it that gave you that pull to pursue some time with the military?
It was to get a college education paid for, honestly. At the moment, I feel kind of ahead of my peers that went to STEM just because of the military, because I'm in school now. I have no financial problems going to school, no debt, nothing like that. I live in a nice house, drive a nice car, live peacefully. I don't have to worry about much, and I just get to enjoy going to school as a full-time student. So I think that was the reason why I wanted to join the military, was just, a peace of mind when I actually pursued education. Also, getting some kind of maturity and seeing the world, the real world, honestly, that was number one as well. Getting some kind of experience.
I imagine many STEM students will be watching this interview with you, especially ones who are currently in middle school and high school, as they try to figure out their next step. What advice would you have for those students who do decide to go the military route after graduation?
I don't know. If you decide to go military, I particularly was not like the most military type of person, and not a lot of people expected me to join the military. But to remain who you are, regardless, and that goes with any company, is like remain like as an individual, have your moral compass and so on, and just live by that. I think that is number one. Standing by what you live for or what you believe in is number one, honestly, and just sticking by it. You have family values that you should live by and just carrying that forward. And also, if you join the military, you come across like different types of people, and there's the two types of people I really see was the extremely lazy type of people that didn't want to do much, that were there for just to get by. And then the people who were there to like gain some kind of experience or some kind of career in the military. Uh, and I think that's number one, is to gain some kind of experience. If you're there for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, regardless, try doing as much as you can. Even though I was in a legal field, I had a year-long deployment. I got to jump out of helicopters and do cool, fun stuff. So that's what was important for me, is like I gained something cool out of it, you know.
Yeah, and it sounds like something that's definitely going to stick with you for the rest of your life and has well prepared you for the next step, as you talked about, especially with the financial aspect of it. What are some of the places that you traveled in the world as part of your duty?
So I had a year-long deployment. I was basically like almost living out a suitcase for a year in the Middle East. So I traveled from like Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, Bahrain, and I just been traveling in like this rotation. And so I got to see the countries. I got to kind of be like dress in regular clothes and just travel in like commercial flights to different countries and talk to different like military leaders. Most notably, there was a bombing in Jordan, and we went to see how the Jordanians investigated it. And it was really interesting. Hang out with different cultures, seeing how things are run, seeing how the real world works. It was interesting.
And did it give you a greater appreciation for our country?
Yeah, most definitely. We do things kind of right here.
Yeah. So now you are going to ACC with the intention of transferring to DU. You're pursuing a degree in computer science. What do you want to do after you graduate from DU? What kind of job are you hoping to fill for the rest of your career?
Well, the long-term goal is to move out of the United States and continue traveling. That's the reason why I chose computer science is, I can work anywhere. It's a common language around the world. And the goal is to travel the world and do that type of work. You can work from your home, and that's what COVID really shown is you can work anywhere, regardless of the job, especially computer science. And I just want to continue traveling. That's the number one goal.
So there's still a lot of places that are on your bucket list, or places that you have yet to check off and yet to see in the world.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you have for any of the students who are currently going to high school and experiencing some of the things now that you didn't have to go through since you graduated 2016, and now we're in more of a hybrid environment where things are constantly changing due to the COVID environment? Would you have any advice for students who are currently going through that, or struggling through maybe juggling the amount of workload that they have and the changes that they're experiencing?
Like everyone's going through it. It is a lot more difficult as a high school student, but I also feel like they got a good end of the stick because a couple of years of their high school education's at home. But just being honest with yourself and not cheating your education, that's not going to get you anywhere, to be honest. But everyone's going through the same thing. I got out of military during COVID. Most of my schooling right now has been online. So just be honest with your education, and to wrap it up, and have a long-term plan. If you're not liking the current circumstances you're in, with COVID and so on, you can change it. And this is really up to you and how hard you work.
Absolutely. Well said, Max. Well, thank you for checking in with us. Of course, we love to see what our students are doing upon graduating from STEM and the years following. You've taken a really interesting route. And I think with these alumni spotlights, you're the first one that we've talked to that actually went the military route and traveled parts of the world, and then came back too. So it's something that we definitely like to continue tracking with you and get some more updates as you go along in your career.
Of course. Thank you so much.